screen is visible or not?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yeah, good morning all. So welcome back to our Biitmaster club session, live session for every day, every week. So we are continuously doing it to improve our communication to the next level. So with that series, I'm able to get some more information on these sessions to share the some more information or insight about the communication parameters. Where we need to understand our complete mind also be involved in the communication. Definitely without mind you cannot have a communication with other person, right? So mind is an important role which play during our communication with other person. So mind is a main factor for us to keep alert and get clarity on the situation. And it may have different factors to be considered during communication. So that's why I have given a short name, KYM. So know your mind. So right. Most of time people will say while you are communicating with other person, they say that mind your language. Correct. That's very interesting point. They will point mind your language, mind your tongue, right? So that is because the mind will initiate or mind will trigger the the request, sorry, a response to a request, or maybe a question, or maybe a situation, or maybe a need. The mind will make a composition of that response. So that's where this leads to the very important parameter in the communication. So I was just thinking what could be the first point comes in the picture when we have a communication with other person. The main point is that the mind. Okay, then if mind is the one, then how it will be a important role it will play in our communication, that we can get to know today. Okay, so let's start with that point. The mind. So as I mentioned, it's a major role will play in the communication, where your mind will define the quality of response to the message or the request by the other person, or the conversation you want to have with other person. So the mind is very very important. This mind state also is very important. As you guys know that the state of mind will give the better result. When you have a better state of mind, either you are in angry or a frustration, or you are in calmness, or you are in happy mood, or you are in sad mode. De- Depends on that state of mind, the quality of communication you can get or you can make with other persons or with other the situations, based on the situations. So I felt that the mind is very important role in our communications. So definitely we will be having a conscious on the mind. If I go inside the mind, there are different types of minds are there. There are two minds, conscious mind and subconscious mind. If you're really interested to know how your mind works or brain works, you can look into that, the subconscious and conscious mind. Depending on that, you will have a better idea on the mind. So definitely I hope that everybody has the better mind and simple mind and happy mind and the correct mind. Otherwise you will be a special person, right? So if you don't have mind, definitely you are a special person. So God has given a best mind for us. Let's use it as a best way. The what is the important factor in the mind? So we use the mind to understand the information from the other person in a different way, or maybe definitely sometimes we misunderstand the informations from the other person, right? So we need to understand, we need to think in the right way. We need to get hold on the what is the information we are getting from the other person, what is the the conversations we are doing with the other person, or with a team, or with a crowd, with the peoples, with the family, with the friends. You need to understand the context of the situation or a topic is very important. Here my context is that making very effective communication to the all the individuals. So that's where we come into this Bitmaster session, right? Another context. That is what we need to understand. What is the context we are talking here? What is the context we are discussing? What is the context we are learning? What is the context we are trying to get hold of it? So that's very important. Definitely intention is also important here. What is the intention is that we need to have a skills to make more effective communication. So that is the context. The another point is that you need to filter it out. Filter it out the unwanted or negative things, or maybe which may be a biasing information. Bias nothing but where you are getting a false information which you may think it is a right, or you may think it is not a right. So you should not bias it. Say some situation may come where you bias yourself, take a different negative directions or negative actions, correct? So filtering is very important in your communication. So that filtering is done by the mind. Mind will take care. You should tell the mind, don't concentrate on this unwanted information, something like the the past information, something belief related, correct? Some people will tell the past to make you to understand, make you to bias, and get aligned or inclined to their information. So that is called hypnotism, or you will be aligned to them. You are going to accept their information even though it is false. So that is, you need to consciously think about the filtering part. You can remove the unwanted information while communicating each other. And the this is very important. And the perception, some people will understand in a different way. See, there is an image where there is a symbol is available in the below. There are some people are standing next to that symbol. The symbol gives a different perception to different people. They will understand in their own way. Somebody is telling that it's a 8. Of course, somebody is telling in English way it is 8, but somebody has thought that it is a infinity. For him, it looks like infinity. Those who are standing in left side, for him it is a 8. Somebody is thinking something wave. It is a kind of wave. Somebody is thinking, DNA. Right? Even DNA looks like same. Even I agree it is a infinity. Even I agree it is a 8 also. Correct? But this is what happens when we have a communication, you know, understanding informations in a different way. Depends on situation. So you need to understand the context and then get into that point, and this is what it is meaning. You guys know that there are different symbols will be used for different situation for different informations, correct? All of you know that. There are a lot of traffic signal symbols are there. There are a lot of financial symbols are there which may use in different way, correct? So that is very important. The, the coming to next, the emotional intelligence. Here, emotional intelligence is very important in communication. It comes from the again from the mind itself. Where I have done myself, the mind will create a emotion during the communication. The emotion is very important there. Either you are taking a good emotion or uh, different emotions of a mind. Mind may not be in the same state. Always you know that it may swing between the different modes of different modes. Either it may be in happy mode, anger, frustrations, or maybe sorrow, sad, whatever it may be. It may go in a different directions or dimensions of mind, emotional mindset. So that we need to get into the right emotion on the mind. We have to be. Depends on the emotion of a mind, definitely your conversation will be in the same way. The next one is that empathy. As I mentioned in earlier session also, the empathy is very important. When you have a feeling, when you are able to feel his emotions, those who are able to share their information from their side, if you really are able to understand their feelings, definitely you are empathizing with them and you are able to get hold connection with them to take the right information and give the right information to back to them. So empathy is also important while in the communication part. Definitely it's a part of your mentality or mind. The next one, the critical thinking and decision making. Definitely critical thinking and decision making comes from again the mind. Mind is the main part. So mind has capability to think in a different way, in a different dimensions to get a different answers or solutions or problem to that, or you can think another problem is a problem also. Most of the people, we think problem comes, we think another problem, again problem, we don't look into the solutions. So when you sit and change your mindset or mind to a different state, then you can get a better idea about the problems or informations, or the content can be driven there. If you are not able to give the information or solution there, at least you can say this is what I can think at this moment. I can give it suggestions to you. Suggestion could be a best better than the solutions, wrong solutions, not the best solution. If you are able to give best solution, good. If not, give the best suggestions. So you can give a enhancing to the content to the next person or next possible options, where you can think with that, you can refer to that, or discuss with the expert, discuss with the right person to get a solutions. So that's where we get a critical thinking. The problem thinking is very important. Again, to get a solution, you need a knowledge. The solution comes from your mind, where you already have information from there. It's a it's a very powerful uh, device in our brain, which can get any kind of solutions. It may be a feasible solution or maybe may not be a feasible solutions to each one of the problem, right? So that is a capacity we have. So we should analyze information in a right way to get a right info to your mind. Then when you get a right info to your mind, definitely you'll get a right solution from the mind. So that's where we need a very good mental or mindset. The next one is that self-awareness. The self-awareness nothing but you need to keep aware of your mental state or your own thoughts to be in a right state. Is it I'm really biasing and giving info to you, or really I'm giving impactive informations to you? So I may bias and give, hey, don't have a good effective communication, it may lead to something wrong. If I tell that, you may know communication is very important, it's a vital part of our day-to-day life. Definitely that is very important. That's where I can say, while giving info, you should understand that you can understand a person is really biasing and giving info, or really is awareing of himself that what he is sharing to you. That's very important. And same thing, when you are communicating with others, you should aware yourself, is it I'm really giving a right info to the other person, or I'm giving a right info to him to understand better, to get the better outcome from there. And next one is that you have to be having ability to get the feedback from him, or understand that is it really I communicated very well to him, or do I need to change something from my side. Most of the time when I communicate with the people, I will take a few seconds or minutes to think about the communication which I had earlier. So is it I did a right or I did a wrong, or I was in the right state to give the information to that person or not. Sometimes when we communicate, we may not be awareing ourselves, we will be giving a response immediately because our, our mindset may be in a different state. At that time, we may not have a effective communication. So we need to call back and check. Sorry, I was in different state of mind, or I was in different situation. I couldn't give the proper response to your question or answer to your call. So could you please come back and tell what you are exactly looking and how you can get information from there. That is how it may be possible to have a self awareness on the mind. The next important thing is that you need to remember while you are communicating with a person which you already had a past conversation or new conversation, or it is a different unknown conversation. This is very important. So most of the in the training period of during period of training, I recall most of the people, individual people, I will still remember what was the topic I discussed with each one of them. If I forget, I request to recall it. So if request, then I'll be able to get idea. Oh, what was the topic I discussed? What was the point need to be considered during that conversation? Most of the family, we may when we meet, definitely we talk about the past conversation we had, right? So that's very important. You need to remember that. Definitely, when you don't think it is an important information, no need to recall it, just forget. But very, very important when you're trying to have an effective communication with a business point of view or a friends or a colleagues, you need to remember the proper information to give the proper decision or proper conversation further onwards. That's very important. Again, to learn the effective communication, you need to learn about the right words to use and what is the concept we are trying to utilize during the conversation, what is the phrases we use during the communication. That's very important because everybody is learning, right? Definitely we need to remember the new words, right words, formal or informal words, concepts or maybe phrases, whatever it may be. You can take those informations or words to give the proper or appropriate thoughts to the other person. That is also possible. Recall and memory is very important. The next, as I mentioned, the mindset and attitude is very important during communication. Are you coming with a negative attitude or positive attitude? Depends on situation, mind will change. So you need to take care of the mind set during the communication. So, as you already know that if you want to give a negative dialogue, your mindset has to be negative. If you want to be positive, if you want to give a positive, then you should convert that mind to positive mindset. Then you will get a positive output. Correct. And the next one is that openness to feedback. Always you should be open for the feedback from the friends, family, colleagues, wherever you go. Open for the feedback. You no need to request for the feedback. Don't request for anyone. Just keep quiet and stand there. Definitely people may give a feedback there itself. Hey, you did very well, man. You are very good. We have improved a lot. That's very important. That is what you get the feedback to you. That motivates you to the go to the next level. So growth oriented mindset is very important. So when you take a more feedback from each one of us, or maybe a family, friends, and your mentor, definitely your improvement will be a more. Definitely, just check yourself. If you don't have feedback to you, you will be in the right direction. May not be in right directions, which I felt myself. If I get more feedback, definitely I'll go to the next level. The last one is that mindful communication. The mindful communication is very important. Why? Because the mind, you have made a set of your mind to be in the right state, and you are aware of yourself. Everything is ready. But if you don't have mindfulness, definitely your communication may not be effective. Suppose, for example, I am giving information on this effective communication. where I'm having a very interested informations to be shared to you. I'm trying to have a deeper engagement with your conversations as we do in table topics, right? So when you talk about table topics, I feel very happy about it. I'll be actively listening your speech and identifying the good words you're using, formal communication, and about your mistakes, everything I'll be checking that. So that's where I feel that I'm present there. If I'm not present there, I may not be having a mindful communication with you. So that's where the importance on the mindful communication. The next one is reducing the misunderstanding. Mindfulness will always help you to you know get the right information in the communication, otherwise you may misunderstand. Suppose if you are not present here, if you are doing something else, like as I mentioned, if you are doing a multitasking, definitely you will be distracting yourself, and you are not showing the engagement or involvement in the communication. You are bound to misunderstand the informations, correct? So that's where you need to have a active listening skill, and you should be very mindful on that conversation. So that will help you to reduce the misunderstanding. I see that most of people will go through these recorded sessions, right? They do half of things. Sometimes they may miss the some of the the conversations. If they miss, you may not be able to understand properly. So you need to thoroughly watch that sessions properly. You can speed up your the speed, you can put it in higher speed. Don't go in a slow speed. If you don't want to be waste your time, put it in 1.5x in YouTube. I think you all of you know that 1.5x is the maximum you can try to set that video's speed to get a proper information. And if you really want to enjoy and go slowly, reduce it, so you'll get better idea on that. So that's about the mind you need to set for better communication. So mind is also a part of your communication. So it's a you need effective means effective communication means you need to have a mind. Yeah, that's for the day. So let's start with our table topic or prepared speech. If any people want to interested to give table topic speech, please I request to start with that.